everybody, welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. This is the Jekyll, and this is not in the regular series here. As you can see, we are floating around in space. We're actually in creative here. And the reason we are in creative is I wanted to show you the capital vessel that I built several alphas ago that I'm thinking about updating for the new alpha. And to do so, I am going to... I've already spawned it in behind me. And I'll show you the blueprint in a moment, but I just want to turn around so you can see it in all its majesty. I call it the System Lord. It is definitely based upon Stargate and the aliens from Stargate. Their ships are all pyramid kind of shapes. So if you've ever watched SG-1 or any of those series, you'll kind of recognize this design. And this is huge. I mean, this is a huge ship. I'm going to go into this view and zoom out so you can get some idea of just how big this ship is. Look at this monster. Look at it. Huge. So let's take a look at the blueprint so you can get some idea of how big it is. And you can see it's orange because it needs to be updated. But we are talking 61,000 iron ingots, 15,000 sathium, 6,000 cobalt. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's got 24,000 blocks total in this bad boy. It's a monster. But let me give you a tour of it real quick, and then we'll talk about what we'll do with this in the future. So as you can see from the outside, all pyramided up. A lot of the blocks that we have now we don't have, or I didn't have when I built this. So I'd like to tear some things off and redo some things. I've got cannons all over the place. These are part of the problem. There's too many turrets on this thing right now. That's the bridge there. That's the top defense area up there, which I'm going to go inside and show you everything. But this is my gravity generators here under glass, and you can access them from inside. I'll show you that. This was my power conduits running too, and that actually attaches up to your fuel tanks in there. I'll show you that in a moment as well. I mean, we've got long gun placements. It's a monster. These are the greenhouses here on the corners. So I kind of looked at this as more of a defendable or defensible science type vehicle. Like, it can go out into space, and it's good for setting down on planets and doing, different studies and things like that. That's kind of how I pictured it. This is the bottom side. And so, yeah, obviously I had a color palette of choice, and you'll see that repeated everywhere. It was black and yellow. And then this is mostly just blocks and different texturing that I did. So, yeah, it's huge. I'm not even sure if we had the large, the biggest thrusters back then when I built this. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into all of that when I go to rebuild it. And so there's different ways in. I have these for thinking of deck maintenance. Turn off my jump jets. And you can go in here. Kind of gives you a view, and then there's an elevator down. This whole area out here, this circles the inner pyramid, we call that the habitat ring, and we'll start there. And so starting here, this is what I was talking about, that you could get to the gravity generators, so you can do repairs on them if you need to. They're there. I've got on each corner, these are a large, it's actually more than 9, isn't it? 16 total farm plots here. Most of the habitat ring is, and you see the lights are off because I've got, if you look at I've structured it so that the lights are in different areas, because lighting is a dog in Unity and it really pulls it down. So if you wanted the habitat ring lights on, now you can turn on all the habitat ring lights, which I have shadows off, so it's not so bad right now, but with shadows on, that just kills performance. But either way, it's set up so that you can do that. I've got hull lights, if you wanted to put the hull lights on and off for the exterior. And then I've got landing lights, which I believe all these are in your ship landing, which we'll get to in a moment. So this is B. I'm going to put my shoulder light on. This would be like where your soldiers stay. And then, of course, we got the bathroom and all of that. So this is Barracks B. That was the elevator that we came down. Come around this way. This is Barracks A. Just a repeat of Barracks B. Same thing. And I showed you this already, but there's fridges over here as well for like if you just want to pull your vegetables off and put them in there. Alright, and this is F. This is one of the dining halls. And I've tried to put O2 stations all over the place, so no matter where you are, when you're out in space, you can get oxygen, because it is a big ship. We've got storage here, food processors. So, everything you need there. Come around this way. This is Wing E. And this is, again, there's oxygen here. This is like, just hanging out, off-duty time. There's couches and stuff, and I put, a little dining area here with some couches, television, and then back here I've got actually what I set up as a game room, like a LAN area. Everybody can get their own personal computer time. You can play games back here, that kind of thing. Go back this way. I'm going to put a link, by the way, to this in the workshop, because I've put it up on the workshop a long time ago. I'll put it in the description of the video. There's another greenhouse. Come around this way. Here's D. Just another barracks. C probably is just another barracks. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's what one of our thrusters. So yeah, I've got the thrusters here to where you can get to them as well if you need to repair them from the inside. All right, and then now you're down here towards one of the arms, and this is for storage. So if you got all kinds of cargo that you need to do, there's plenty of storage here. There's ammo boxes here. I've got guns for invaders. If they come in, they'll have to deal with that if they haven't taken the core out. And then we'll go there in a moment. I'm gonna go this way first. I showed. Did I come that way? No, I didn't. Yeah, that was still barracks. Maybe? Hold on. That's D. Yeah, okay. So, now we got to go around into that area that I was showing you, and that is the hangar bay, the landing, whatever you want to call it. We'll swing over there real quick. From the other side. Boop, boop. Gravity is heavy because there's 4 gravity generators, so some of that middle area gets a little heavy. And we'll come in here, and then this is the hangar bay. Just kind of let you take a look for a moment, and then I'll show you all the parts of it. We'll start over here from the front. This would be where you came in, where you would fly your ship in from the outside here. And then these doors just go back into the habitat ring. So what I've done is I've given, walkways from all over the place. Yeah, these definitely could use those new glass railings. We're going to do that there. I figured as you're coming in, you'd want a control center here, looking on as ships are flying in. So that's what this is the control center. The tower, however you want to call it. All right, we'll come around this way. This goes back over to the habitat ring there. And then on either side we have fuel tanks. These are the big boys. Should be the T3s. And of course I did piping, which I want to redo this with the smaller pipes, I think. I like the way it looks smaller now, especially when we've got like bends and T's and all of that kind of stuff. I had to kind of do a lot of just using square blocks to do connections. But yeah, so that's your fuel lines that run through. On either side we have that. These are your thrusters. So you can get to them and repair them from the inside. And I've got them all the way around. And then these ones here that sit out on the floor, these are the downward facing thrusters, and so you can get to them here for repairs. These are the rear thrusters behind here. Yeah, okay, so this is the extra large. So yeah, these definitely, we did have that then. You can see these are big boys. So this would be like your thruster room here where you come in and do repairs. All right, go back out, up. Come this way. Towards the back. There's 4 places for small vessels to set down and to dock. Boom, 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 boom. We got a little landing strip or run strip there. All right, you got medic station, oxygen. On either side, there is one of the large constructors, the advanced constructors here with storage. Storage all the way around. And then this is just the fuel lines. These are the ones, like I said, that run out onto the hull, and you see them out on the hull. And then they go up into the rest of the ship that way. Yeah. Oh, wait, there was one more thing down here before we go up into the rest of the ship. RCS units. On either side of the entrance here, you have RCS units are in this room. And this room would be like your RCS control. And so there's enough of these T2 RCSs on either side there and here that this guy turns pretty well. And I'll get into the driver's seat and show it to you when we get up here. So there's that elevator shaft here from up there that goes up into the ship. And then there's this one that runs up into the ship as well. We will go up. Boop, boop. And then I think there's like 3 decks maybe past this one. So this one only goes up this far. Comes in here, and this is the engineering deck. So in A and B here, you have generator rooms. I kind of like the way this look in this texture for the generator walls here. I might need to retexture that. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at it from above. A and B are the same. They're just reversed. They're just the generator rooms for running this big bad boy. And then you come in here, and on this side you have oxygen. Again, this are, I guess you would call this like the Jeffries tubes fuel room. It's just the tank where the fuel comes in and goes to other parts of the ship. One on either side. And then here in the center you have the warp core. And we've got fuel lines to him as well. And then his fuel tank is here. So this is engineering deck. We'll go back over here. This is the elevator that ran from the top floor down there. We'll go back down real quick so you can see. So this is the one that was here. And this continues up into the rest of the ship. That was engineering deck. And then this is the control deck, the cockpit deck. I'll show that last. This would be the important deck here, because this is where we keep our core. And as you can see, I've got death waiting for invaders. This was just go around into the Jeffries tubes again. This goes all the way around. This goes into your core to power it. So this is basically the computer core deck is the way I looked at it. This runs the rest of the ship, and then behind the elevator is where you get into the main computer core room, and he's in there. There's your core. And then this would be all, death again, waiting. I've got it painted black on purpose everywhere so they're not super easy to see. Like, that's just super well hidden there until it starts firing on you. Go back up. The only problem with a ship this size is that you're not going to be able to defend this in a PvP server by yourself. It's just no way. It's too big. Too many areas of people coming in. This would be something that like a large group would use. And so this is the tip of the pyramid here. And as you can see, I've got cannons on either side. And then I've got, turrets here. So these are defending at the tip. So if anything comes, from the top. So we'll go back down. Back down. And now we are on the main deck of the ship. This would be the bridge. And here would be obviously the cockpit of the capital vessel that the pilot can use. And then this is like a little raised area. And you would think something of this size would take a lot of people. Here is a clone chamber, which, useless, but there it is. You would think a ship of this size would take a lot of crewmen to run. So I kind of built the cockpit to kind of give that feel. That you have different stations, battle stations, and all kinds of telemetry stations and different things like that in here that different groups would run. And the captain would run it all from the pilot's ship there. You've got all of the readouts here, all of this. So yeah, this is my pride and joy. This is probably the biggest and coolest thing I've built in this game. This is all up underneath here. I'll show you how it flies. One thing to know is this ship sucks fuel like nobody's business. It's ridiculous. So let's go into our fuel tanks real quick. Let's make sure they're all fully charged up. I want to make sure they're full. And you notice I've got them full of fusion cells. So like the best that you can go. I'm sure there's some work that could be done to make this much less fuel hoggish. But if we look at with full fuel sitting in space, just not moving, you're only looking at, and that's what, 4 big T3 tanks and full of fusion cells, you're only looking at 18 hours of power. It's kind of ridiculous. It's so big. But if we go out here, you can see you've got control from inside. You can kind of see out the windows, but who plays like that? Boom. You can see it. It moves and controls really well. It gets up to speed really fast. And it can stop really fast. Like that. But it gets back up to speed. And then I'm going to show you what happens when you land this guy on a planet. Like, with it moving right now, I'm down to 63 minutes. But wait till we land on this planet. You see how much fuel it just burns through. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Going into the atmosphere. And changing play fields. Got to clear these clouds. This thing is so big that you'll not realize that you're, why so much clouds, that you're already touched down before you are. So I'm gonna straighten it out, and I'm gonna come down with down thrusters instead of going forward. Straighten it out. We're going down, 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 down. So, here's the planet. Here we are. And we're going to touch down any second now. It looks like we're still super high up, right? But that's the problem with the size of this bad boy. Here we go. Come on, where is it? Don't make a liar out of me. It's going to make a liar out of me. There. Now we're touched down. So I'm going to come out, and I want you to see what it looks like from the sky. Not that deck. And jump out. Actually, we're in creative, so I have unlimited jump jets. See, it's like not even touching the ground, really. It's so big that nothing actually touches the ground. It's like the game doesn't know how to handle something this size. It might be like one of these things are sitting on top of a... Let's see if we turn it off. We hit Y on it so it shuts off. Yeah, it's down. That's as far as it's going to go. See? It's so weird. But let's go out like we were a ship. You see this from above, sitting on a planet. Like I kind of envisioned finding a lake and setting it down in the middle of a lake. It is so massive. I don't know, I might build something new, but I love this ship. So this is the System Lord, set on a planet. It looks like a city sitting on the planet, doesn't it? Like a fortress of some kind. Alright, now one last thing before we call this video. I want to show you how much fuel this thing is going to use when you take off from orbit. I'll show you like basic. So you saw I had 4 tanks that were full. Alright, back down we go. The quick way. There we go. Doot, doot, doot. Alright. Oops. I was not over the walkway. There we go. Going up, up. Engineering deck. There is the cockpit. Hop in. Change view. Turn it on. Alright, here we go. Going out to space. And once we're up a little bit, then we can go forward because it's quicker. Oh, see, now we're down to 12 minutes of fuel. And you get to this point where it's almost like, am I moving still? If it wasn't for the clouds, I would have no idea I was still moving. Come on, hit orbit. It's trying. What the heck is happening? It's like it keeps resetting the distance to orbit. Do it this way. I wonder if it's like part of it was hitting orbit before the other part, before the core, so it kept resetting it. That's kind of weird. So just using the lift thrusters, I'm back to 44 minutes of power, and I'm actually getting higher here. Keep going. You can see it's not quick in orbit, but we all know capital vessels are not really meant to spend a lot of time on planets. They're more meant for space. I remember in this game before you could even land capital vessels on the planet, they would just explode if you hit orbit. That sucked. Alright, here we go. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, System Lord. You can do it. Almost. Giving a little forward thrust to help. Forward thrust and lift. Up, up, up. Here we go. And we're in space. Clear the atmosphere. There we go. And good. So let's take a look at the fuel tanks, shall we? That one's full. That one's full. So that one we've used half of this tank. Okay, so we only used half a tank, but that's still, if you think about fusion cells, we've used, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So like 28 fusion cells just to land and get off the planet. So yeah, pretty big, pretty massive. So if I want to redo this one for this alpha, I think I have to remove a lot of these cannons and have to look and see if there's any other devices that are out too big. But anyways, let me know what you think about the System Lord. it was a fun project to do. Like I said, it took me about a month, maybe. I just sat here in the mornings before work and worked on it and watched Star Trek. I was going through Deep Space Nine at that point. So anyways, thanks for joining me. If you like that, give me a thumbs up. If not, let me know why not. And subscribe to the channel if you did like it. Appreciate you joining me. Talk to you later. Bye.